guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see today we're filming downstairs out of the studio and in my living room. It is rather sunny, so I do apologise if the background gets a little bit overexposed. The sun is very bright today and there's not many clouds, so it does keep playing havoc with the camera. But I thought I would do today's tutorial downstairs in natural daylight because I wanted to review the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Tint, which I feel like is so light that it really does only do it justice if you're filming in natural daylight. Up in the studio lighting, I feel like it really wouldn't do it justice because it's such a light skin tint. I think it would just get lost in such bright light. So even though we've got bright light here, it's a lot more natural. I can obviously come a little bit closer to the camera and you guys can see my skin up close. This is what we are working with today, and I will show you a little bit more up close once I've put the skin tint on. If you've not already checked it out, go and look at Lisa Eldridge's video on this particular product. It's brand new, it's her skin tint, it's a lot lighter than the original foundation, it's for that no makeup look. I'm going to jump straight into applying the product. I've already got some SPF on my skin, so I'm just going to press a little bit of tissue over the top to absorb any excess product on my skin, because I find that a lot of SPFs tend to make my skin a little bit more shiny, which I want to avoid. I let it sink in for maybe like 20 minutes if I've got time before I put makeup on, and then I just go over with a little bit to pick up any excess that hasn't sunk into the skin. So there are 18 shades available in the skin tint. It's a lot more universal because it is so light, it's kind of stretchable across a couple of different skin tones per shade. All of them have a neutral undertone, which I love, again because it is such a lightweight product. A neutral undertone, with it being quite sheer, just is a lot more forgiving for most skin types. You really have to give it a good old shake. I believe Lisa said 78% of this is made up of skincare, and it's a very sheer coverage, so thinking of your skin but on its best day, as she describes it. I absolutely love the shape of the bottle. It's like a pebble, inspired by artists that Lisa absolutely loves. It has the flat section so it can lay down. I like that it's also squeezy so you can get all the excess product out. So I have used this for maybe like a week and a half and I love it. I definitely use more than Lisa uses. I think she said in her video she used 3 drops. I probably use more like 6 because that's my preference. 3 drops is nice, it just evens out the skin tone, but I want just a little bit more, and it is buildable so you can do that. So I've just pinned my hair out of the way a little bit so it's not annoying. So I've given it a good shake. I'm also going to take my rings off because I'm going to use my hands to apply it. You can use a brush, but it's so sheer that it just really does go on better with your hands. So I'm going to start with 4 drops. So I'm just going to swipe some on. I have shade 7, which initially looks dark on the skin, but it's just coming into spring. I'm going away in a couple of weeks, so I decided not to get one that was kind of my winter skin because we are coming into summer. So I thought 7 might be a good transitional shade. 8 would probably be more like my summer colour. So let's work that in. Trying to hold my mirror really low so that my camera doesn't focus on it. Sits so nice over my skincare, and Lisa said she really loved this under the eyes, and I agree. It's so lovely. I don't really wear concealer under my eyes. I just don't like how it enhances fine lines and wrinkles, but this doesn't do that, and it doesn't give a brightening effect under my eyes because I'm not using a colour that's slightly lighter, but I'm okay with that. I think I'm not needing the brightness so much just yet. I might do as I get a little bit older. I do tend to put a little bit of brightener just here on the inner corner, but that's all. It feels so lovely on the skin. I recommended this to my sister. We were out at the gym the other day and I had some on, and she asked me what I was wearing, and I usually use the Dr. Jart Premium Skincare Beauty Balm, which is another one that's like a hybrid, and it's beautiful. And I'd say that one gives a little bit more coverage, so if you've tried it, that's a good comparison. But this is lighter, it feels more natural on the skin. So as you all know, and I think I might have just mentioned, I have sort of like an oily skin type through the centre, some combination. I don't have oily cheeks or anything. And this lasts really well. I wouldn't say it's like anything mind-blowing in terms of by the end of the day, is it still completely in place? But it's no worse than any other product that I've ever used, if that makes sense. You find when you wear light-based products and you are slightly oily through the T-zone, that most things starts to kind of break down and wear off by the end of the day. But it is still visible, it is still looking really nice on the skin. It's just that as with all products, by the end of the day I start to just see it kind of like come away from my nose, and you know, but because it is so lightweight, it's not super obvious in terms of the way it breaks up, because sometimes with foundation you can really see it separate. You don't get that with this. Instead it's just kind of worn away a little bit. It really does even out your skin beautifully. And if you're into a natural base, I'd highly recommend this, because you can still see freckles. It wouldn't necessarily cover blemishes like a concealer would, but it really does give coverage where it's needed. So I have a tiny bit of pigmentation here and I can just kind of layer over it, and although it doesn't completely disappear, it's definitely less visible. If I give it 20 minutes, I might have one tiny little line just here, and then I look up and just press it into place, and then it's gone and it doesn't reappear later on. With some concealers it takes like 2 or 3 goes for that residual product or residual makeup to stop settling in the fine lines. So if I come up close, this is one layer. You can see it goes over the pores really nicely, especially around the nose. You can see around the eyes, it doesn't make it look excessively crepey. If this is really loud, I'm sorry, because I'm right next to the microphone. But yeah, really nice just for one layer. And that was kind of like 4 drops. Again, more than what Lisa is using and what she kind of like recommended for that kind of lightweight tint. Probably more ideal because it is a tint that you use less. The idea is it's not supposed to be something that's incredible coverage. It's supposed to be everyday makeup, like so that your skin looks like your skin but better. But I will build it up just a little bit more so you guys can see what it looks like on the skin. So I'm going to go in with maybe another 3 drops, probably totaling at 7. Well, I'd normally do 6, but I just want to show you guys that it's buildable. So just dot it around, then it makes it easier to just use your fingers to blend it in. I usually use what's left on my fingers to take that down my neck. So it's got some really lovely ingredients. I'd encourage you to go over and look at Lisa's video reviewing this product, because she goes into all the details, all the ingredients, how she come to make it, the process behind it, where she had it made. It's really informative and really nice to learn about the product. This is more just like my experience of the actual product itself. So make sure that you blend it into your hairline, just so that if it is slightly darker than your natural skin, it won't be visible, and take it over your ears as well. Use your fingers as like a little sponge. Just pat that in, because there's excess product on your fingers, and this will help to make sure there's kind of no swiping marks from where you've put it on with your hands. What you can do is take a little brush and just gently pat over any areas that you might have missed, or around your pores. I find by tapping over my pores, they become less visible. If you imagine an orange skin, like the peel, it's very bumpy, which is really similar to this section of the face. If you look up close, you can see that we have what we refer to as orange peel effect, and that's just very natural. Everybody has it. But what's great about using a brush is that if you imagine orange peel and you swipe over the top, what's going to happen is it's going to leave indentations with no makeup on. And no amount of pressing it, if you try it over an orange, no amount of pressing it in is going to get that foundation to just sink in between those holes. So sometimes it's nice if you just gently, softly go over the top of the pores or the orange peel on, if you're going to do it as an example. It will go into those tiny little holes, and it will come out when you clean your face. You just need to make sure you wash it really well. But the point is, it will give you a much more airbrushed finish. You can see that that's blended in really well. Makes the skin look very radiant, but not in a shiny way, as in like light reflecting particles. Instead, it's just kind of glowy, or very natural. And I find I don't have to powder this down as much as I would say like the Dr. Jar, because I find that really does leave my skin very glowy, and it would stay that way. Whereas this kind of, I feel like, gives a very natural finish to the skin. I wouldn't say it's matte, but I would only really put a tiny bit of powder through the T section just to take away any excess shine. So I'm going to do the rest of my makeup, keep it very natural, and I'll come back and just show you what it looks like finished. So I've just finished my makeup and this is my skin up close. I look like I've made an effort, but my skin still looks so natural. What do you guys think? So this is my very natural day makeup. I've just got a little bit of eyeliner on and mascara, so it looks like the eyes look feminine, attractive, but the skin and everything is just so natural. Tiny bit of blush and a tiny bit of powder bronzer. That's it. Lip gloss, super simple, takes no time at all, and again the skin just looks glowy, even. I mean, you can still see I've got a tiny bit of pigmentation there. Overall, I really like it. The skin tint is beautiful. Great for those days when you don't want to wear makeup, but you still feel confident. This is about 4 hours in. I'm definitely getting shiny, but this is always the case for me whenever I'm wearing a light base. So I would just powder at this stage. And as you can see, many hours later, I'm about to take my makeup off. I have a minimal amount of shine. My makeup still looks like it's in place for something that's so light, and I only powdered once in between with the airbrush flawless powder. So overall guys, I'm really loving the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Enhancing Tint. I think it's beautiful. You can see it gives you just a very natural finish to the skin. You know, it is, I want to say flawless, but in the most natural possible way. It's really even the skin out. So yeah, absolutely love it. Hope you guys try it. I will link the product in the description bar if you guys want to give it a go for yourself. If you've got any requests for tutorials, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you are new to my channel. Come follow me outside of YouTube over on Instagram at ShowMeMakeup, and I will see you next week for another tutorial. Bye guys.